Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about topic plan risk management. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam of PMP in near future. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, plan risk management is basically a process in the risk management knowledge area as defined in the PMBOK guide, project management body of knowledge. And this is a very important process area, knowledge area. Why? Because like for example, if you are implementing any project in any organization, or you have a plan to give exam of PMP, so you will definitely have to cater different types of risk in a project. Now, plan risk management is basically a process under the risk management knowledge area, and this process will or involve identifying, assessing, prioritizing and mitigating the potential risk that could impact the success of a project. Friend, risk is a uncertain condition in a project for which you are not sure whether it will happen or not happen in a project. If it happen, it will have a positive or negative impact on the project. If it's a positive risk, so you will try to enhance the impact. If it's a negative risk, so you will try to mitigate that risk. So that is the main concept of a risk. For example, you are implementing any project and you have observed that the team is not fully trained on the new technology. So this is a risk that the technology at which you are going to work, you don't have the hands-on experience or you don't have the skilled resources for that particular technology. So this is a risk in a project. So you should have some mitigation, you should have planning or responses that how will you deal with that risk. Either you will arrange a training for the team, or either you will do some like you will try to change the technology, etc. You will have some response planning for that risk. So now plan risk management means that whatever the risks are there, you will plan about those risks, that how will you deal about those risks. So first thing is the identification of risk, that is called as risk identification. The objective of this step is basically identify the risk that could affect the project. So the activities involved, like we will do the brainstorming session, like in which we sit together and try to identify the risk. We review the historical project information, like the projects which we have done in the past. We review those projects, whatever the risk identified in those projects. Any project documentation available, like for example scope document, risk register, communication plans, lesson learned, etc. And consulting with different stakeholders, getting their opinion and that what were the risk when they were working on the project, or what are their experiences about those projects, or about the risk. The output of this thing is basically, this process is basically a comprehensive list of potential risk categorized as internal, external, technical or non-technical risk. So you can think of this as an Excel sheet in which the risks are mentioned, like and what are the risks have been identified for the project. So this is basically the thing is risk identification. Next is the risk assessment. Once you have the identification of risk in your hand, then you basically evaluate the likelihood and impact of each risk. That means what are the chances that this risk could occur in a project, like what is the probability, and if that risk occur in a project, so what is the impact of that risk on the project. Okay, so this is very important thing, that is called as risk assessment. The activities involved are qualitative assigning assessment, that means assigning probability and impact score based on the probability and impact. There are quantitative assessment means numerical analysis of potential outcome. Main objective here, friend, that you must have some identification that this risk is very important, this risk is less important. So basically this is basically categorization of the risk. Actually the output is basically a prioritized list of risk based on their significance. like either you use qualitative assessment or either you use quantitative assessment. Based on their impact and probability, you can give some score, and you can give a priority of those risks accordingly. Then the risk response planning. Risk response planning means the to develop strategies for responding to identified risk. Like if that risk occur, so how will you deal with it? What is your response? Either first thing, like you can do the risk avoidance, means that you will eliminate the risk by changing the project plan, make some changes in the scope. Either you can do the risk mitigation, like reducing the probability or impact of the risk. Okay, so either, for example, your team is not hands on the new technology, so you can arrange training for them. So this is called as risk mitigation. Risk transfer means that shifting the impact of the risk to another party. For example, insurance is a type of risk transfer. Risk acceptance means that acknowledging the risk and developing contingency plans, that you will accept that risk can occur, and if that occur, we will have some alternate plans accordingly. So a detailed plan for addressing each identification risk is very important, and this is the main output of risk response planning. Next is the risk monitoring and control. So that means track, review and manage risk throughout the project life cycle, in which basically we regularly review the risk register, monitoring the risk triggers and warning signs, executing risk response plans and needed, and updating the risk documentation. So here friend, the main purpose of this activity is to review the risk register. If there are any things which should be added, new risks are adding, or what is the status of the risks which were identified, it should be properly reviewed and controlled as well. The output is the updated risk register, status reports and documentation. Then contingency planning means that establish some alternative plans in case identified risk materialize or happen in a project. Develop contingency plan for high priority risk, identify trigger point for implementing contingency plan, and detailed contingency plan for high impact risk. And contingency plan is the alternate plan if that risk occurs, so you will go for alternate plan. Then communication and documentation means that ensure that all stakeholders are identified, are informed about the project risk and their status, regularly communicating risk information to stakeholders, documenting changes in risk status or response plans, and updating the risk communication plans, documentations and reports. Next is the lesson learned. That means capture and document lesson learned throughout the project for future improvements related to risk, conducting post project reviews, what are the feedback about the stakeholders, documenting successful and unsuccessful risk management strategies so that you can do the positive things in future and avoid the negative things future. Output is the lesson learned document for use in future project. This is a very important document, lesson learned. So by following these steps, project managers can proactively identify and address potential risk, enhance the overall likelihood of project success. Regular monitoring and adaptation of the risk management plan throughout the project are critical for its effectiveness. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching.